Hello and welcome to B2B Direct Talk. This is the final episode of that first series, episode 5. Um, my name is Francois Go. I'm your host in this series. This is called B2B Direct Talk. We want to be fairly simple, not using jargon and things people don't understand. So let's be very pointy and very direct. So in episode 1, if you recall, we talked about how to express ourselves in a way people can understand what we do. In episode 2, we looked into how to better target your audience and how to better express now in different messages and declinations your value proposition. Then episode 3 was talking about how you can improve your conversion rates or your win rate. And episode 4 is how to kind of make your systems and your people work in one direction to, well, show the attribution of marketing and sales to your growth. So for this 5th episode, I have a question coming here. So let's hear it and then we'll take it from there. Okay?
Hi, thanks for having me on the show. I have one more question for you. What is the system you talk about? How do we get started?
That's another great question. How do you put this together? It's great. You're making your product clearer, you're reaching the right people, you're helping sales convert with the right tools, and you're seeing what's working and what's not working. Individually, all these pieces matter, no doubt. But if like a few, you can make them all work together, that's where you reach different levels. Okay? So when I look at this practically, so let's talk the first one for a second. We talk about a system here. And I will explain that in a second as to why I call it a system. It's a business development system. I don't know if that's taken, somebody else has it, but to me this is a simple brain, how it works. I've been doing this for a few decades, and it's same logic. Express yourself clearly. Do not think your customers understand exactly what you do and how you do it. Matter of fact, they're more interested in why you do it. And that's most of the time forgotten. So go back to basics. The systems needs to be helpful into helping you and your team. They need to have the authority to do this. They need to have the responsibility to do it. And they need to have your support as leaders to make sure you're gonna, well, be there when they need you. So the clarity of messaging is being humble, but it's also having the right tools. Yeah, you can use ChatGPT and whatnot and all that sort of jazz. Helps, great, super. But make sure you have the right support to those people. Maybe by having a third party involved, maybe by doing some test marketing. Not too much, by the way, it's useless, right? So make sure you test and retest again, like we do in production. Okay, it's the same deal. Your marketing message is very, very critical. Second thing, targeting the right people sounds easy to do, but it isn't. So until very lately, in some of the systems I work with, it was really hard to find out who was where and who was who. So, simple thing. We want to attack this corner of the market in this pigeonhole of a territory and selling that piece of gear. All right, who's in there? What do they do? What's their job? What's their function? There's a small set of secrets that we've unearthed and some of the systems you might be buying, you might not be good at this stuff. I can't use brand name in this series, so please call me and we can have a conversation about this, and I can let you in some of those secrets. But there is way bigger firms out there that pretend they have the answer and they don't. So before you spend a lot of money doing lead gen, as we call it, lead generation, give me a call. We can talk directly. Again, I said this was not a sales conversation nor marketing, but this one is important because finding the right people is critical to conversion. And I think in episode 3 or 4, we talked about that person wanting to buy a medical bone screw, finding you talking about screws, and having a conversation with your sales team about an aerospace fastener. You see the difference? You're making aerospace fasteners, but you appeal for some reason to somebody in the medical bone screws. Even though it's close, in terms of, some of you might know this, in terms of materials and production capability, whatever, it's a completely different market. You can't really cross over. So that's the third thing. If you can find the right people that do the right things, and there's some techniques on how to do this. So that brings me to the system. Now, let's pretend for a second that you got the right message, that you find the right audience, and that you find the right salesperson to engage and close faster. I'm talking hours, not weeks, not days. Matter of fact, best systems I know are based upon scoring activities and sequencing activities way before we have our first conversation. Remember when I said in episode 1 that you need about 10 impressions to get somebody's attention? That's still true. So you need to engage with them. Like, for example, somebody's in China right now having a conference over there and looking up for some kind of bone screw, just to keep using that, and find your company at 2 a.m. in the morning on a Thursday. You're not working. And oh, by the way, Friday is a bank holiday. And Saturday and Friday and Sunday, nobody works. So it's not until Monday that you probably can interact with that person that just flew back from China. And if you're lucky and you get in contact with him or her, you might find out they already bought from somebody else. Ugh. So the system comes again. And I've done some, public presentations around instant gratification and all that. You can look it up on the web. I might just do another episode on that, actually. That's a really good idea that just came by. So to me, it's the system that makes it work. I got the messaging, I got the targets, I got the CRM working with my marketing automation, my website, my ERP, and all the other alphabet soup that you can think of. So that system is now gelled. And oh, by the way, if you did it right, forget about data quality between systems, and you have your Rosetta Stone in the middle to convert the data points, and Boeing is actually here, and Boeing is actually here. So now, once you can connect all those dots, the system will work for you. Don't work for the system. Have it work for you. Okay? So that was episode number 5. This is the closing of that series on business development and growth. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to talking to you. I look forward to maybe having a chat. Never hesitate to do that. LinkedIn, text, emails, you've got everything there on the page. And pass it on to your friends. Oh, one last. If you can, give me some ideas of what to put in that next. Maybe you can participate in my B2B Direct Talk, right? So let's find a way. Enrichment. Thank you so much again. Looking forward to see you somewhere, and ciao.